All right. Well, good morning, Rotary District 7770. Welcome to Conversations with Rotary Action People for Monday, September 21st. My name is Donald Hovis. I am the CWRAP host, and I'm from the Chicora Rotary Club in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Today is all about digital newspapers are here to stay. And joining us is the publisher of Midlands Biz. How about give a warm welcome to Alan Cooper. Thank you, sir. We'll be with you in just a moment.
All right.
All right. Now, for those of you on the call, you know I'm going to give you a question, but you should not have to go to Google for this. So what I want you to do over in the chat box, introduce yourself, put your Rotary Club, and then answer this question. Tomorrow is the first day of, should be very easy, hence the long sleeves. It is the first day of fall. Thank you, Lou Mello. Introducing our CWRAP team, our public image chair from the 5 Points Rotary Club in Columbia, Miss Mary Gask. Good morning, Mary. And our district communications officer from the Somerville Evening Rotary Club in Somerville, South Carolina, Mr. Terry Moore. Terry, good morning. Alan, I got some questions here for you.
Sure.
And we'll get this conversation started. So how about give a brief history of Midlands Biz?
Yes. So I'm originally not from the United States. I moved here from Canada in the year 2000. So we've been here for 20 years. And the move to South Carolina was to join a family publishing company. My father-in-law, way back in the 1980s, was a publisher of weekly newspapers up in Cape Cod and in Massachusetts. And even back then, in the late 1980s, there were some layoffs and already some changes in weekly newspapers back in 1989. So this print versus digital is not a new trend. He moved he moved from Massachusetts to South Carolina to start a publication in Columbia, South Carolina called the Columbia Business Monthly magazine, which I think this year is now celebrating its 30th anniversary. That magazine still very much exists. So that is also part of this print versus digital theme that has been going on for a long time. From 2000 to 2006, I worked for my father-in-law at the Business Monthly magazine. We had a lot of challenges during that time. There was a recession in 2001. There was a tech bubble that burst, I think, early on in around 2000. And it always met with a lot of challenges. Unfortunately, my father-in-law passed on in 2004 and the company was put up for sale. And in 2006, when it sold, I was not part of the next generation of Columbia Business Monthly. So I decided to start a competing publication that was going to be both print and web. In fact, the first thing that I did right out of the gate was to do a publication called Profiles in Business Magazine and to highlight local companies in a profiles magazine. This would have been in October, November of 2006, with a goal in about May of 2007 of launching midlandsbiz.com. So we did a few years of print and web. And as we were getting started, 100% of our advertising revenue was from print. We started this website and the website started to grow, but go back to 2008, 2009, there was really not a lot of interest in advertising on a digital publication, on a website. We started gathering in information and then pushing it out in a newsletter and creating advertising space on this newsletter. But still, our revenue was really, we had a tough time selling this new kind of concept of advertising on a digital medium. 2009 recession was a very difficult time for a lot of people, and it created a lot of challenges to continue to do print publications. So for us, print publications, we were trying to do nice quality glossy magazines. That creates a very expensive printing bill. We were doing controlled circulation, where we bought a list of households that had a certain household value to try and reach kind of an upper middle class audience. And we had a postage bill, and we were hiring graphic artists, and we were hiring writers. And so 2009, it just became really difficult to make a profit on these publications. And we didn't know what to do. So we decided to start our own publication in 2007. And a couple of years later, we were, do we continue on doing this? Fortunately, by 2010, there had been some shift towards more, I guess, acceptance of people's minds of digital publications as a viable place for banner ads and for advertising. And some of the people, fortunately, that we had, some of the relationships, we were able to go to them and say, we are shutting down our print publications and we're shifting to online only. And would you consider, given the growth and traffic of our website, because I've always kind of viewed this as a pretty simple business model. We're in the media business. We sell eyeballs. We gather in information, publish it. We have these people who read it, and it's there that we can place some advertising. So it's a pretty traditional media buy, but the shift was a little bit slow in happening. But fortunately, kind of early, 2010, 2011, we were able to kind of make this shift to digital only, get some advertisers going from print to web, gain some new advertisers. And it was still very difficult because the price points were much lower. A full page ad in a magazine versus a banner on a website, we were going from a significant drop in price. So trying to balance out this business proposition of, I got a printing, now I no longer have a printing bill. I don't have a postage bill. I have an email address, an email list that I'm sending out. It was still very tough for us to kind of get enough momentum and enough profitability so that we could earn a living off of this in the early 2010s. We opened up 2 other sites. There's a link to a site in the chat box there. I'd love you to go and check out midlandsbiz.com. You could Google that. We opened up 2 other sites. One's called lowcountrybizsc.com. Another one's called upstatebizsc.com. So no print. You go to those sites. I would love it if you would consider checking out the site. Once you're there, on the right-hand side, you'll see a subscribe button. And that subscribe button puts you on the newsletter, and you will receive timely information, business information tailored to your market. The Midlands, Low Country, and Upstate, kind of on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We try not to bombard your email box with information, but 2 days a week you will receive a newsletter from us that we're really proud of. It has a lot of great information, great local news items. We have lots of great information on that newsletter.
So how have you integrated social media into your business?
Well, social media has been with us since the beginning. Let me put it this way. When we started, one of the business opportunities that I saw compared to print, because I was in this print world, was the way it used to work is that companies would send us press releases over at the print publication, and they would fax it to us. And then we would retype it into our magazine that was going to press. But the magazine that was going to press, it wouldn't be very timely information about what was being received, right? Because if we received this now in late September, it was not going in the October issue. We're already too late for October. So we would publish this November. Sometimes it wouldn't even make it until December. We worked so far out. So what I felt like what we could do is offer timely information. So I skip ahead now and I think about social media. And I thought I was kind of on the cutting edge of, hey, listen, you send me a press release, I'm going to publish it on our site. We'll send you back a link. We can publish this on a newsletter that's coming out 3 days from now on Tuesday, and it's going to be timely. Well, think about 2020. What is timely? Timely is social media. I kind of view social media as pretty much, it's a competitor to timely information. A lot of this information that we receive now, people are either on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, or on Twitter, or all of them. So I feel like we very much have to have a strategy for bringing information in and also putting it out on social media. So Donald, it's been an interesting shift also, is that our social media has grown more than our email list. So we have 5,000 subscribers in Columbia, in the Midlands, but we have 6,500 followers on Facebook. So it's just as equal. It's a balance. But for us, social media, pushing something out on social media in a timely fashion is just as important as our newsletter now. The struggle is, how do you make money, me as a publisher, on Facebook and just sharing information on a timely basis there. But yes, absolutely. We've had a social media strategy from the get-go, and some great successes there. Sometimes if we share some of the content that I create, particularly videos of local people, and tag that group, we see, 10,000 people reached. It's not uncommon for something to kind of start to go viral, and then people like it, share it, and their family gets involved. So social media has been kind of a big part. Has to be. Absolutely has to be, because a lot of times I'm looking at our website going, oh, it's so great and timely, when I'm seeing it it's already out there on social media.
Yeah, a second ago, I raised my hand when you were talking about all the different social media platforms, and that wasn't that I needed to interrupt you. That was to say, hey, I'm on all of those platforms. So social media is definitely where it's at. So tell us what's new in 2024 Midlands Biz.
Yeah, we've got some exciting news. It's been a little bit challenging, I'm sure, for all businesses to deal with COVID and to transition, but we're a home-based business. We do not have any employees. We have people who write for us. They're freelancers. We have people who help with the website. But in 2020, one of the most interesting developments really kind of right now for us is that if you look at our domain name, it says who'sonthemove.com/MidlandsBiz. So our site has been designed so that it is scalable. And kind of interesting right now is that we have a kind of a sister site. We're licensing out our website and newsletter to somebody who's building a business in Lawrence County. Now, of all places, Lawrence, I mentioned this to somebody the other day, and they didn't even know where Lawrence County was. This was a South Carolinian that were like, where the heck is Lawrence County? Lawrence County is a relatively small county in the upstate. It's part of the 10 counties of the upstate. But this is an interesting proposition for us. It's a separate business, but you could also go to Lawrence County Buzz and look at a website that looks very similar. It's kind of the same architecture. Subscribe to a Lawrence County newsletter. So I think for us, maybe going forward is that there might be an opportunity for us to maybe expand into some other counties. That's been kind of good for us. And one of the things I'm proud of over the years is that I've really been able to kind of go out and take some of the things that are important to me: innovation, entrepreneurs, the arts, design, architecture, making things look beautiful, education, giving back, nonprofits, companies that find their way to kind of give back to the local communities, and do short video interviews. So I have literally done hundreds and hundreds of interviews with people from around the state in short video interviews. Another new thing for us is that I'm taking those interviews that are about 3 minutes, and sometimes I have really nice longer conversations with people that might be 10 or 12 minutes. And we now have a podcast that is available on Apple and Spotify called Who's on the Move SC. And those are kind of podcasts as you would know them. We do video podcasts on Midlands Biz. These are longer podcasts that you'll see one coming up, I think, with it's a longer interview with the president of Milliken, which is an iconic South Carolina company. So some good interviews coming up on that, and just another, kind of a new development. Again, with all these things, I don't never quite know how to make money on being on Apple and Spotify. So that there's always that challenge, but I think what I kind of want to be is a publisher of good content, good, interesting content, and different channels to share it. Our website, our newsletter, social, and now kind of a broader podcast that you can listen to in your car or whatever. So, yeah.
Excellent. Before I ask you another question, two things. So everybody, yes, tomorrow is the first day of fall. How about you post your favorite thing to make in fall in the chat box for me? And if you want to share a recipe, why not? Go ahead. There's one question you may have just seen posted in the chat. It says, "Are you in Rotary?"
Yes. Well, I got a bit of I am not only in Rotary, I've been a Rotarian for about 10 years. I'm a former president of the St. Andrews Rotary Club. And I just, unfortunately, I don't know, maybe more, Rotary is facing a little bit of a challenge with COVID, I believe. And I'm in a club that I unfortunately just resigned from in the last month. So I don't quite know what my Rotary future is going to be. I love Rotary. I love what it stands for. It's just, for me, it's just not a great fit right now. That may change going forward. But I was a longtime member of the St. Andrews Rotary Club, in fact, and was a president there about 5 years ago.
Excellent. And the comment there says the 5 Points Rotary Club wants you. So
all right, Mary. Yeah, it started off with me kind of really wanting a breakfast club. The midday thing for a business person was just not working out. And I'd like Rotary. I'm still very much engaged with my business, and I'd like it to be, something I can get to maybe earlier in the morning and kind of get out there and network. I would like this to be a networking, not just a service organization, but a networking organization for me.
Gotcha. And then my final question for you, unless anyone has a question for Alan, you can post that in the chat box as well, is talk about what trends you're seeing in the South Carolina business community in 2020.
Yeah, I would like to go quick with this, and with all due respect to everybody who's facing incredible challenges during COVID, I've always felt like whether it's just me personally or the website is really designed to be a resource of what positive is going on around the state. So I know it's been a challenge for a lot of people, but I just took an inventory of some of the good things that are going on in and around the state. So here's just a few things. Here's some homegrown companies this is kind of the last 3 to 4 months. Columbia is known as an insurance company, and particularly an insurance software company. Another company that was developed just in 2016, Duck Creek Technologies in Columbia, in the Midlands, went public. They have grown so quickly. They are now a publicly traded company, and a successful one. They were targeting a $27 launch price on their IPO. They're now trading at $40. It's another amazing success story in Colombia. There's another software. They're a software as a service. There's an infrastructure as a service company in the upstate called Green Cloud Technologies. They've been on the Inc. 5000 since 2016. 5 years in a row of being one of the fastest growing companies in the United States. Think about the math on that. You have to, every year is a higher benchmark. Great success story. Another one in the Low Country. There was a company formed in 2009 called Enviromix, and they make wastewater treatment plants and water treatment plants more efficient. Big operation that was supported by SC Launch, kind of an early investment from the SC Launch company. I don't really want to go too much into that organization, but this is an amazing support from the state, mentorship from the state, growth company over 11 years, and they've now been acquired. So those are just 3 homegrown companies. And then in the last 3 months, I kind of wanted to highlight that we can't forget that Nephron here in pharmaceuticals in Lexington County announced a $215 million expansion. Walmart announced a $220 million distribution facility in Dorchester County. Ross Stores, a $68 million distribution facility in York County. And there's a $314 million agricultural facility being built in Hampton County. So I just kind of look at the really challenging times that we're dealing with. I know a lot of companies have had to kind of pivot and look for new opportunities, and it's been really hard on a lot of companies. But these announcements are just in the last 6 months. I think this state is really well positioned for both manufacturing, growing local companies that can improve the processes of the manufacturers that are already here, aerospace, automobile, agriculture, tourism. I think we have a really amazing, it's an amazing place to live, grow a business. So I really feel like South Carolina is kind of where it's at and has a lot of great things going on. It's going to be a great decade.
I agree. So thank you for your time and answering those questions this morning and telling us about Midlands Biz. I will tell you, there is a comment in the chat box that Carolina Forest, now that's down in the Myrtle Beach area, their morning club, they have a breakfast club. So let the bidding begin. There are several morning Rotary clubs. And just remember this statement, people don't quit Rotary, they quit Rotary clubs. So would love to see you back in a Rotary club soon. And you could also become an e-member also. So I
was thinking about that today. I was thinking of reaching out to my current president. Yeah, I will take it very much under consideration. It was a very difficult decision to make, but I felt like I was just, if you're not going to, I got to go, I got to commit. You got to find the right club, the right fit. And you really had to commit to doing it. So I was just finding like every Tuesday afternoon, I wasn't going, particularly in COVID and then this, and then it was just, anyway, I will very much take that under consideration. I do have a favor that I would love everybody to do is to go to Midlands Biz, search Midlands Biz or Low Country Biz SC, look at the page on the right side, subscribe. What we'd love to have is readerships. And if anybody out there, I didn't really mention this, anybody out there who has a company who would like to share their news, new hires, new websites, new locations, anything that's newsworthy, we offer a free resource to highlight your news. Go to the website, top right, and you register and you upload your event, job opening, press release, advice article if you want, and you can upload information to the site with a guarantee that it'll be published and published on our newsletter. So we'd love to have more companies listed on there as users, sharing their information, and more readers. And that'd be great.
Well, thank you. Real quick, there's a comment in the chat that if you could repost that link in the chat box again.
Yeah, so we go, yeah, do I just do that right now?
There it is. It's in the chat box. There was a viewer that just joined that wanted to make sure.
Yeah, that's one of the sites there.
Well, excellent.
Yeah.
Again. And those of you that posted, you like to make soup in the fall, I'll take some, right? So looking forward to the fall. I don't like the cold temperatures, so hey, but it is a beautiful time of year. So thanks again, Alan.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Coming up,
faces. I didn't really scroll over there, but I certainly know Lou, Mello, and Mary, and I don't have a lot of faces up at the top, but I know. Appreciate what everybody does in Rotary, and we'll see about my membership going forward. I'm not ruling it out. So,
sounds good. Coming up on Wednesday for the next CWRAP at noon, we will hear from Bob Wolf. He will be talking about exotics and other species. And so, Alan, the link I sent you for today's CWRAP, you can join us because we do them 3 times a week.
okay.
Mondays at 11. Wednesdays at noon, and Friday at 11. So we do them 3 times a week, and they're also on our Rotary International District Facebook page. We're recording today, which will go on the YouTube channel. So we are keeping Rotary top of mind for members across our district, and we appreciate you being part of it.
Thank you.
All right, I will wind down today on a beautiful Monday, kind of breezy Monday, with the Rotary 4-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful Monday. We'll see you on Wednesday for the next Conversations with Rotary Action People. That's a wrap. Thank you. Bye-bye.